How's it going, guys? Dylan with Mesa Fitness here. Today I am interviewing trainers, which is the coolest part of what I get to do here at the gym. Okay, so today I am with Amy Robinson. She is one of our trainers here at Mesa Fitness Grand Junction. She's been with the team for about a year now, a little over a year?
Year and a half.
Year and a half. Man, it's been that long already.
Yeah.
Or, well, I guess at that time both of us had kids, so that time flies. It's ridiculous. Anyways, so I get to chat with her. I get to introduce her to you guys. That way you can get a little bit of background on her. And if you see her in the gym, you can say hi. If you have questions, obviously she's more than welcome to help you out. Okay? So, Amy, first thing, give me comic book number one. Obviously, I'm a huge nerd, so I like the comic book reference. But give me comic book number one, your origin story. You know, what'd you do growing up? How'd you get into fitness? What did you do when you were a kid and beyond high school that would have gotten you that got you to this point?
Yeah, so growing up, I was always really active outside doing sports.
What kind of sports, if you don't mind?
Basketball, played a lot of basketball, volleyball, just kind of everything. We always went out and like mountain biked and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Always outside on the weekends, you know, adventuring.
Okay.
So then college kind of hit and I gained a lot of weight, which kind of typical. And then
at freshman 15, it hits us all.
Right. For me, it was like 80 pounds. So I was dealing with that, you know, kind of making some life changes. I hired a personal trainer of my own way back when, and she helped me lose all the weight, you know, so that's kind of what got me into wanting to help people, you know, as my own weight loss. You know, I was like, if I can do it, anybody can do it, you know. So then from there, I just kind of set goals for myself. You know, I lost a whole bunch of weight and did a figure competition.
Really? When was that?
That was 2015.
Okay.
Yeah, so in Bend, Oregon, did that before I moved here.
Very cool.
Got 4th place, so it's pretty good.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You know, and then that's really what set me on this journey of helping other people, you know, because I saw that anybody could do, you know, anything. So, and then kind of did some Olympic lifting for a while, CrossFit. In 2018, I did an Ironman triathlon. So trained for that for a year and then completed that in Arizona in 2018. Awesome. So.
And you were still living in Oregon at the time?
Yeah, I was living in Oregon. Moved to Colorado about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago.
Okay.
Started working here and loved it ever since.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Very cool. Now you mentioned after high school you went to college. Where'd you go?
I just went to like the community college back home.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got an associate's degree in early childhood development. So I love working with children. That's actually my passion, is to work with kids and get them healthy and fit and stuff. So
very cool.
Yeah.
I want to kind of elaborate on a couple of the things that you've done. So you obviously mentioned the freshman 15 turned into a little bit more than 15.
Yeah.
So what kind of challenges did you have? Like, did you try going in on your own and working out and trying to lose some of that, or did you go straight to a trainer?
Yeah, so I tried a little bit on my own. I was actually in a really bad marriage, and he put me down a lot. So, you know, I would go to the gym and try, but then you just kind of feel bad about yourself, and so it just didn't really work.
Just a bad spot.
Yeah, so I finally just signed up for some classes at the gym where we lived, and just started taking those, and then the teacher and I kind of bonded, so then we started working out together, and then she ended up being my trainer. So
cool.
Yeah.
How long did you work with her?
Oh gosh, probably 6 months to a year.
Okay.
Yeah, and then she moved away, so then we still did stuff online.
Oh, cool.
So
that's always cool when trainers are willing to do that. How much did you end up losing, if you don't mind me asking?
All in all, it was about 80 pounds that I lost.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, and now, you know, since having the baby, my weight kind of fluctuates, obviously, but, you know, trying to get back down to that pre-baby weight and all that, so.
For anybody who happens to follow her on social media, she has one of the cutest babies. I would
Yeah.
say that my baby's the cutest, but that's because I'm biased. Hers is pretty close.
Yeah.
Adorable.
They're both right up there at the top.
Yep. Talk a little bit about that challenge too. How obviously I watched my wife go through it too within the last year. What is that like? Both working out while you're pregnant and then the post pregnancy stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously that's a big thing. There's a lot of females that go through that same process. So what kind of things did you experience and what would you recommend?
Yeah, so in the beginning of pregnancy, it's all great. Like nothing really changes. And then as time goes on, you like start to put on a little bit of weight and things get harder. So I just tried to stay active as much as I could. Towards the end, I got like really swollen and was retaining a lot of water, so it was hard to do stuff when your feet are like cankles, basically. But I just tried to stay as active as I could. Of course, I talked to the doctor all the time. But there's really not a whole lot of restrictions as long as you have a healthy pregnancy going on. So I still did classes here. I still ran, biked, all that good stuff. Lifted weights is really important, especially while you're pregnant.
Why is that? Just a little
It just keeps your muscles all strong, and then it makes the birthing process easier when you have the muscles, so then after the baby comes, your body's not just like, ugh, you lost everything. You still retain some of those muscles and, so.
Okay. Yeah, that's one of the things I remember the doctor always recommended for my wife too, was just stay active, keep the muscles moving. That way when baby does come, then your body isn't just completely just drained and you have nothing.
Yeah.
So that's a really good point. I would like to expand on that in some other videos, maybe a video series now that you are back.
Yeah,
it is good to have her back. She's been back for about a week, 2 weeks now?
Yeah, a week now.
So, and I know that leaving baby process is...
Oh, it's horrible.
Even if is baby with dad today?
Yeah. So I know he's safe at home, but it's still like I'm always checking in, send me all the videos, send me all the pictures. So
for those of you watching, I think that is tough. It's difficult for both parents. I had, obviously, with dads, we go back to work a lot sooner than moms do. Moms get the pleasure of having some time off for their body to recover, and they get to have that special time with baby the first couple of months. With COVID, thankfully my wife got to experience a little bit more time, which was awesome. But I remember she was just heartbroken when she had to leave the first time. And I was too. It just happened like 2 weeks after he was born.
Yeah.
So
I know, it's so hard. You get really attached.
It's hard not to, especially when they're so adorable.
I know, right? You just sit and stare at them all day. And yeah.
For those of you who are thinking about having kids or who have kids, you probably understand that feeling. Like for the first, year of their life, especially within the first couple of months, that's literally all you do is you just stare at your baby because they're so cute and you just can't handle it. That you might literally explode.
Yeah.
That was one of the concerns I told my doctor, by the way, that my baby might be too cute, but I think I'm going to burst into flames.
I know, right? Like I cry all the time just because he's so cute. I'm like, I don't know how I made you, but here you are.
So you mentioned you went to college, you got the early childhood development. How did you get into training? Obviously, you kind of mentioned that you would work with a trainer, you went through your own weight loss journey.
Yeah.
What made you decide that you wanted to get into this field?
So the more that I went to school and like helped out in the schools and did all the teaching stuff, I just realized that I don't want to be stuck in a classroom. I don't really like how schools are set up these days. It's just not what I really wanted to do. So I talked to the trainer that I originally hired and some family members who are also personal trainers, and they're like, well, you should just go do that. You have all this fitness background. So I just started studying. I ended up really liking it. And then took my test and I passed. So I was like, here I am.
Where'd you get your certification from?
Through ACE. It's just an online, you go through it at your own pace and then you go take the test, which is a really hard test, so don't be fooled. I know what I'm doing, even though I didn't go to college for it.
It is pretty tough. I mean, a lot of the trainers, we've had trainers that have come up from other positions in the gym, whether they've just been an instructor in some of our classes, which is equally hard, by the way, or like at the front desk or from kids club. We've had folks come up from those positions to be a trainer, and in that time we get to see them go through their certification process. And I mean, it seems brutal. Obviously I don't have a certification or anything like that, but it seems like it's grueling work. You do a lot of studying, and then you take the test, which is obviously not easy because you're working with people and their lives and their bodies. So you obviously need to have a lot of background. Now, did you get that before you moved here?
Yeah. Well, I took the test once I moved here.
Oh, okay.
But I had been studying the whole time and stuff, so.
Very cool. How was that transition from Oregon to here, just out of curiosity?
It was pretty good, actually. So I'm from a part of Oregon that's up in the mountains, big ski resort, very touristy, expensive. So it was nice to move here. Things are a little cheaper, not as many people. But, you know, we love it here because there's so much to do, you know, and that's what we love to do. That's what we did in Oregon. Every weekend we were, you know, camping, hunting, fishing, you know,
Awesome.
Hiking, whatever.
A lot of that around here too,
Yeah.
which is good. Did
Yes.
you guys do a lot of that before baby?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think one summer we camped like every weekend for 3 months.
Man, that is
Like,
awesome.
Yeah. It's just, we were like never home, so.
Yeah, and there's plenty of places to do that. I've seen that you guys have gone on like walks and a couple of hikes too with baby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super
Yeah,
fun.
we're trying to get him out while he's young, you know, because that's the lifestyle we live, so he needs to be able to do that also. So,
Right. Start them
Yeah.
off young makes it easier when they get a little bigger.
yeah. Less TV, less video games, more outdoors,
That's a good idea.
sports. So,
Good idea. Awesome. All right. What kind of things? Now, your certification, is it just a certified personal trainer, or does it have a specialty on it?
it's just the certified personal trainer. I can always go back and do specialties and get a specialty in something, but right now it's just kind of broad, everything. You know, but since I have, you know, the background in CrossFit and triathlon and, you know, a little bit of bodybuilding, you know, I feel like I can help people with that other stuff also, even though I may not be certified in it.
Yeah.
So.
What kind of things are you specializing in currently? What are the things that interest you the most? Like what kind of fields, whether it be bodybuilding or CrossFit? What kind of things are you really concentrating on?
Mostly like weight loss, you know, building muscle, you know, like just overall fitness. And now that I have had a baby and I'm going through all the postpartum stuff and getting, you know, back into fitness after all that, you know, helping out new moms that just don't know what to do, you know, because your body goes through all these changes. You're like, I don't even know what to do anymore. I kind of pee every time I jump rope. Like, yeah. So.
Fellas, we do not have that issue. So be nice to your wives.
Yeah, there's a reason why we do what we do.
That's right. That's right.
Our body went through some traumatic things.
That's right. So, all right, it's time for one of the curveballs that I told you about earlier.
Okay.
Now, I've done a couple of these videos already, and I really give no preface to these questions, and really just like to throw these curveballs at my trainers to see how they react. And so far, they've done great. So I have confidence that Amy's going to do the same. So this one, what impact do you feel that physical and nutritional fitness can have for somebody's life?
Oh my gosh, it changes everything. So many people think that, oh, I'm gonna go lose 10 pounds, I'm gonna feel great, I'm gonna look good in my jeans. But as you're going through that process, like, your whole mind shifts. Like, there's things going on in your mind and your body that you don't know about. So as you start to clean up your diet and you start to work out and deal with all that stuff, it just changes who you are, you know, and all that stuff that, you know, you might got bullied in life, or, you know, someone always telling you you're fat, out of shape, whatever, you deal with all of that, and it just changes everything for you. So it's really like a full body, full mind shift.
Kind of
So,
transformation.
yeah.
It's awesome. And for the better, obviously.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, you'll hit, you know, peaks and valleys, and, you know, you'll wake up and the scale won't be moving and you'll feel like crap and like, I don't want to work out today, but, you know, then you'll have this super high, I lost 5 pounds this week, you know.
it's always a journey. That's one of the things that I've learned being at the gym the last few years is that there's always peaks and valleys, like Amy said, and just getting through those peaks and valleys and not getting too high, not getting too low. That's always something that I've heard out of pretty much every trainer that I've talked to is don't get high, don't get too high, don't get too low, and really just enjoy the journey because as with anything, it's the journey that counts.
Yeah. What I like to tell people is you didn't just like go out on Friday night and eat pizza and drink beer and eat ice cream and gain 50 pounds. Like it took time to put that on. And unfortunately it takes time to take it off, so it's not gonna happen in a week. It's, you gotta go through the process.
Good job on the first curveball. I like that.
I don't like curveballs.
What do you recommend for somebody who's getting back into the gym? Whether it's, I'll give you a couple of different scenarios and then you can kind of bounce off that. So let's say we've got somebody who's fresh out of high school and the only time that they've been in a gym is in gym class. Okay. The other instance is like an instance that you're in, just had a baby, and whether they were in the gym before or not, how would you tackle that? And then for somebody who hasn't been in a gym in, let's say, 30 or 40 years, because I've seen plenty of people come into a gym, whether it's this one or Clifton location or any of the gyms that I've been in. I've seen a lot of people like that they just haven't seen a gym and they're tired of feeling how they're feeling.
Yeah.
What kind of things would you recommend for those types of people to get started?
So first off, don't get too involved in like social media, Instagram, Facebook, and you may follow fitness people and they've been doing it forever. So of course they're gonna have this perfect diet, perfect everything. But don't go and try and make a million changes right off the bat. Like if you change everything in 1 week, it's not gonna work. So you just need to take it step by step. Maybe the first step is coming into the gym, and talking to a trainer. That's probably the best thing you can do, especially if you're not familiar with the exercises, with the equipment, is talk to somebody about it, whether it's a trainer, the front desk people, whoever it may be, so that you're not hurting yourself, so that you don't come in here and lift too heavy, set yourself back even further. And then just baby steps, so maybe you set a goal to work out 2 to 3 times a week, and then, you're not gonna eat out until Friday night, and then, I like to follow the 80-20 rule with my diet, because if you eat too strict, you're never gonna stick to it.
Can you elaborate on that just a little bit?
So 80% of the time you're eating at home, you're eating healthy, home-cooked meals, no processed foods as much as you can, and then that 20% of the time, you go out Friday night, you go out Saturday night, you have the donut, whatever it may be. You celebrate someone's birthday. If you say no to everything, you're gonna be miserable and you're gonna look at somebody and then like resent them because they can eat that and they're skinny and you're not and you're doing all this dieting. So yeah, just baby steps.
So really don't take the cold turkey approach. And be moderate with it.
Yeah, and I think any trainer will, if they tell you to just change everything at once, then you should probably find a new trainer or talk to somebody else because it really is baby steps, so, one day at a time.
It's tough to do anything cold turkey, whether it's, stuff like smoking or drinking or really anything, but if it's related to your body, it's tough to do anything habitual that you've done, especially if you haven't been in a gym in 20 or 25 years or more. Anything that you've habitually done for the last 20 years is going to be very difficult to get through, and trying to make that right turn happen overnight, it's just not going to happen. So you have to set that expectation that, okay, I'm going to take this slow, I'm going to make a couple changes, and after that a couple more changes, and then just continue to grow from there. And again, back to it's part of the journey.
Yeah, and you need to set realistic goals for yourself. Unless you're like 500 pounds and you're just getting into the gym, you're not gonna lose 15 pounds in 1 week. People that weigh a lot, and are like really out of shape can do that because they have so much to lose. But if you're just like the average person, you know, you just sit too much, you know, you haven't worked out, you're not going to lose a ton of weight in 1 week. So, you know, set yourself 1 pound a week, you know, 1 pound every 2 weeks, something like that. So your goals need to be realistic for your lifestyle. So.
Perfect. Yeah, just to kind of bounce off that, you mentioned setting your goals for your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
How much should somebody look at what they do for a living, like whether it's with their job or how they function at home? How much should they look at that when trying to figure out what to do in the gym and nutritionally?
Yeah, so if you have a job that is like very sedentary, you sit at a desk, you don't really get up very much, you work 9 to 5, then you know you need to make that extra time to come into the gym and maybe do that little bit extra cardio. But if you're like have a super active job, maybe you can work that into your workout plan. You know, if you're a construction worker or something, you know, and then when you go home at night, you need to be, you know, cautious of what you're doing. You know, don't just go home and sit on the couch and eat your pizza or your fried chicken, whatever. You know, maybe go for a walk or, you know, take the dog out or, you know, whatever it may be. So, you know, if you have a very sedentary job, you might need to work a little bit harder just because you're not getting that activeness during the day.
Makes sense. Now, obviously we're filming this in October of 2020. Very strange year, and I'm sure there's people that are watching that maybe aren't comfortable coming back into a gym setting yet. What do you recommend for them?
Yeah, so you don't have to be in the gym to, you know, be fit, to do your fitness. You know, you can go for a walk. You can go for kind of like a walk jog. You know, maybe you walk for 5 minutes, jog for 30 seconds to a minute, and do that for about 30 minutes or so. Another good thing I like to do to kind of get the muscles working also while you're walking or running is maybe you know, jog for a few minutes, stop, do 10 push-ups, do 10 squats, you know, something like that. You know, so you're getting a little bit of the muscle working also. You know, or at home videos, you know, there's tons of them online that you can find. Even the gym puts out, you know, our workout videos and stuff. So
yeah, check out our YouTube page.
Yes.
You're probably watching this on YouTube, but check out the rest of our page. We've got a lot of different workouts that you can do at home or here in the gym.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a really big misconception that you can only get fit in the gym and you have to have thousands of dollars worth of equipment, and that's not true at all. You know, you have a couch, you can do some tricep dips on the couch, do some squats on commercials of TV shows, do push-ups, do lunges, you know, anything like that. So.
And I've seen you've been working out with bricks with the baby. Since you guys can't find equipment, which is really tough in 2020 if you're trying to find stuff for your home. It's almost impossible.
Yeah, so we didn't have any dumbbells and I needed some weights, so we had some extra bricks from redoing the yard, so just use those, you know, kind of cuts up your hands, so that kind of stuff.
So either gloves or something like that.
You know, but find something around the house. Use a duffel bag full of clothes, you know, the milk, you know, a gallon of water or something like that. So you don't have to have all the fancy stuff.
Yeah, you can get creative. That's what's been cool from a fitness standpoint for 2020 is that there's people doing creative stuff all over the place.
Oh yeah. And if you need ideas, if you need help, you know, look at our YouTube page, search it online, Pinterest. Come talk to a trainer and say, look, I don't have time to come in every day. What can I be doing at home? You know, and we can help you with that. So.
Cool. All right, time for another curveball. Okay. Well, what are your? We've actually kind of touched on this already, but what are your 3 biggest tips for somebody starting out on their fitness journey? You know,
Yeah.
Let's just take like the same 3 scenarios. What are your 3 biggest tips for them?
Tip number 1 would be get the courage to come talk to somebody. You know, you may have an idea of what's going to happen, so come talk to somebody, get an accountability buddy, whether that be a friend, a trainer, a coach, whatever it may be. Do that first so that those people can help hold you accountable. Number 2 would be write out your plan, pen and paper, put on a poster board on your wall, whatever it may be, so that you look at it all the time. If it's just in the back of your mind, you're gonna forget about it. You're gonna be like, well, I didn't write it down, nobody's checking in on me, so I don't have to work out today.
And if you write it down, make it visible.
Yeah.
Tear the sheet out of your notebook, staple it to the wall, put it out on your desk, on your nightstand. That way you see it all the time. Don't just write it in your notebook and then close the notebook and say,
Exactly.
okay, I wrote it down. That's what we said to do. So.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people do like vision boards. So what do you want your life to look like? Do you want to wear that bathing suit this summer? Do you want to be able to run a 5K, whatever? So just make a board of what you want and then, set out your plan. And then number 3 would just be like, whatever happens, be consistent with it. Like everybody has their meetings that they have to go to and they're the most important things in the world and, have to be there on a conference call. Will make the gym or you're working out that meeting for you. Like I work out from 5 to 6 every day, maybe, and that's your meeting time. Turn off your phone, nobody can contact you. Obviously if you have kids or something, it's a little different. But just make it known that that's my time, I need this, please don't bother me unless the house is on fire or something.
Yeah,
So.
Special circumstances.
Yeah,
obviously.
of course.
But I like that. Like working it into your routine. Make it part of your routine or part of your 3 to 5 days a week, or 2 to 3, whatever you're working with right now. But make it part of your routine. That way, it is part of your routine, and everybody around you, your support system, your accountability buddy, knows that okay, I'm going to be at the gym from 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I'm going to go to work from there. Or, I'm going to be at work, I get off at 5, I'm going at 5:30 after I grab something to eat, or 6 o'clock, whatever it is. But make it part of your day, like Amy said, and stick to it. Just be consistent.
Yeah, having the accountability of, whether it's social media, your spouse, your mom, your whoever it may be, your neighbor, and, they're going to constantly be checking in on you. And a lot of us would be embarrassed if we were like, nope, didn't go today, nope, didn't go, because then eventually they're going to lose all faith in you. But if they're holding you accountable and, you go over there and you're like, I went to the gym today, I went up 5 pounds, then they're going to be interested in what you're doing and you might be able to work out with them eventually, or, you can all feed off of each other. So.
And what's really cool too, just to kind of bounce off of that, I've seen it a couple of times here in the gym. You see it all over the place, but to her point, when you put your own story out there, your own journey, the people who are closest to you are going to see that. Your mom, your dad, your grandma, your siblings, your best friends. They're going to see that. They're going to be able to help keep you accountable. They might join you, which is awesome because working out with a friend is so much better. I did that for a couple of years. Now that I'm getting back into it following baby, I'd like to get back into that. It just makes the workout so much better when you're with somebody. But to that point, like don't feel like you're bugging people when you put something out about your own journey, because it's your life. Like put it out to keep yourself accountable. If that's your way of staying accountable, that you're showing the world, like, yes, I went to the gym today. Even if nobody responds, nobody likes the post, whatever, if that's your method, go for it. And kind of to that point, just find what works for you.
Yeah.
Okay. More of a personal question here. What kind of stuff do you like doing in the gym? And you can kind of answer it in 2 ways, because I know you're kind of getting back into it following baby.
Yeah.
What kind of things were you super into pre-baby, and what kind of things are you getting into now?
Yeah, so I've always been really into weightlifting. I used to do a lot of like barbell stuff, the Olympic lifting side of it. I don't do as much of that anymore. But just lifting weights, basically. I'm kind of weird that I like to be sore when I wake up in the morning because I know that I've worked. So, I like to push myself a little bit. my cardio kind of lacked during pregnancy, so getting back into that.
That's still me, so.
Yeah, that's the hardest part. So if you can just put your headphones in and grind, that's the best. But I think it's really important for women especially to be lifting weights, especially as we age. So that's what I focus on. And body weight stuff is great too as you start out, in that first little bit after you have a baby or like towards the end of your pregnancy, you can't really lift that many weights. So body weight stuff is amazing, or if you don't have weights at home, you gotta use your body weight.
Or bricks.
Yeah, or bricks. Yeah, come to my house, I have extra. So I just really focus on, building that muscle back up, and the more muscle you have, the more fat you're gonna lose, because muscle has to work harder to maintain in your body, so it's gonna boost your metabolism, it's gonna burn that fat quicker, so.
Now you kind of mentioned that you feel it's very important for women to lift weights. Why do you say that?
So as women age, our bones break down a lot quicker and a lot easier than men. So if you have that, base of, strength and muscle in your body, then you'll be stronger throughout life. You'll see all sorts of like older women out there, some of them that have been lifting weights forever, some of them that, never go to the gym, and you can see the difference in their bodies. You don't want to be that frail, woman that, you step off the curb wrong and you break your hip and everything else, So if you can build all of that and use that muscle to protect your bones and your body, then you'll just be better off as you age. So, yeah. And you don't have to be, 80 years old lifting 1,000 pounds. It can be the 10-pound weights, whatever it may be. Just keep that consistency as you go on.
Just having weight on the muscles to be able to
Exactly.
to maintain that muscle mass to keep your body moving.
Yeah, and a little bit of soreness is great. You don't have to like be laying in bed like, oh my gosh, I can't move today. So just a little bit to show that you worked, and then you come in and do it again, and the soreness goes away a little bit, and you feel good, and so.
Awesome. All right, last curveball of the day. Okay. Obviously, I've asked you a bunch of questions. One thing that I like doing with these videos is I like you to ask whoever's watching a question. Okay,
Yeah.
It could be anything fitness related. It could be motivation. It could be what do you do at the gym. I mean, anything.
Yeah.
Now, for you guys, if you're still watching this, first off, thank you for watching the whole video. Secondly, take her question. You can answer in the comments on Facebook. You can tweet us. You can throw it on LinkedIn. I mean, we're on pretty much every platform. So find a way to respond. You can DM us if you're not comfortable throwing it in the comments and for everybody to see your comment. But we want to see your responses. Okay, so take Amy's question that she'll ask here in a second and let us know what you think.
So I would say my question for everybody is, what are you gonna do to make your life better? Like, what are you gonna do today to make your life better tomorrow? So, are you gonna make that change? Do you need help making that change? And I will ask you to, as 2020 comes to an end, things are maybe a little back to normal, at least kind of here in this area, make that first step and come in here and talk to us. I just want to empower everybody to do that. It's not as scary as you think. We're all humans, so, just come in here and do it.
That's part of what I want to do with these videos too, and why I'm doing them is one, to get to introduce you to all of our incredible trainers. I mean, I get to see these guys every day. I shoot all the videos for the trainer tips, so I get to see and chat with all of our trainers all day long. But I want you guys to meet them too, because they're incredible people, let alone incredible trainers. I mean, they can help you above and beyond here in the gym, at home, with your fitness, with your nutrition. But just to get to introduce you to these awesome people is really why I'm doing this. And so that when you come in, you have a familiar face, whether it's me being in these videos, or if it's Amy or any of our other trainers. just being able to have that familiar face can help you out too.
Yeah.
Okay, so take Amy's question, throw it in the comments. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe us on all platforms, and stay tuned for the next video.